To Philippine Watching Week 2025, my friends.
Yeah, I've been watching you. I watch every day, your every day. Fast and amazing. Your power.
Your version is so well, it's a fact, science. So, what is it to be in it's oftentimes it's like, oh, well, it's so survive on like 6 different lifestyle that can take you over in our case. And here we are taking over. So I love that it's never had a chance to sit down and talk. So I'm always
Okay, so last December, I did a titled The Power of Transformation, Pivot, Persist, Prosper. I talked about my life, wherein because I didn't have fare to ride the jeepney to go to school and to go back home from school, I had to jump just to, because I couldn't breathe. So I had to jump from one jeepney to get down to my school and ride to the jeepney, jump, and then that's my home. That's one of the things I did. Another thing that I did is that I collected soda bottles after lunch so that I could eat. Because one soda bottle is equivalent to one peso. And so I was always late for my subject after lunch because I had to collect bottles, buy them, and then go back to the classroom. Another thing that I did, so I was very fortunate to become a scholar in college. But the only thing that the school paid for is my tuition. My books were included in the scholarship. And so what I did was I would copy books from I would borrow the books from my classmates and then I would transcribe each word into my notebook so that at the same time I could memorize them. And so I became a cum laude, running for cum laude. I didn't finish cum laude because I had so many extracurricular activities. I was team captain of the volleyball team. I was a writer for our school paper. And so I was running for cum laude and I was happy. And I was happy that I reached that stage. Even if I know I didn't have books, I couldn't afford to photocopy the books. So here I am now, a mother of three, happily married for 17 years. I turned 50 last December. I have won so many awards. And for me, those awards is not just a testament of how good I've done, but it's a testament of a Filipino woman can. She can do it. She can do it not just locally or nationally, but also internationally. Like the Rising Women in Crypto Powerless, I'm the only Filipino woman. Top 20 leaders in blockchain, I'm the only Filipino woman. And then the 100 most influential Filipino women on LinkedIn to be nominated for Taster magazine. That's a lot of things that I've only read about. And you know, when you look back to the girl that was jumping off jeepneys, to the girl that was bullied because she was fat, to the girl that was bullied because she was ugly, to be able to reach that, to be able to be where I am right now, is a testament to hard work, perseverance, dedication, persistence. Even if no one believes in you, you have to believe in yourself.
a bit about football because it's the same thing. Last year, the regional events and the Robinsons dug out. They really have to be good. So much. So I just think that as well as with the blockers, and people want for games, so that's maybe they crunch the next day, which is so it's a bit about
network.
The Philippine Blockchain Week has always been special for me, Ian, because I was part of the first winners of the Block Awards, and to be able to be part of the jury for this year is very important to me. So I see a lot of interest from the younger generation. Actually, my children are all here, aged 17, 15, and 13,
Yeah.
mainly because they've seen me loving and embracing the space. But Ian, in 2017, when I first entered the space here in the Philippines, no one wanted to talk to me about it. They said, "Oh, that's crypto. Oh, it's all." They can't understand it.
Right.
I am not saying that we are at 100% adoption or understanding at this time, but at least the interest is there. You can see the people enjoying because they know how significant this event is. And Ian, we are headed there.
Yes.
Everything is going to go blockchain. Well, not everything. Everything that can be turned into blockchain or converted into blockchain
Right.
will be
Everything's
there.
gonna be tokenized. It's inevitability.
Exactly. So, I mean, because we are seeing interest from all ages. I've seen
Yes.
a little bit over people that are over 50 that are here, and as young as our person here in the booth who's
Yes.
is he your
The little
son?
guy. No.
I know.
One of the people that's helping.
So yeah, so as young as him.
Right. So the other question I want to ask you is this. How do you keep up such a great attitude? How do you maintain such high energy? You know, you're the first to dance, you're the first to smile, you're always laughing, you're always engaging with people. Nobody wants to do that all the time.
Right.
People have to choose to do that.
Right.
How do you make the choice to give the best of who you are to your community? How can people learn from how you've built this discipline? And why is that continue to be important to you over the years?
Ian, I read somewhere that the people that has hurt the most are the ones that smile a lot. And that's me. You know, at this point in time, I'm undergoing something. Life is not hard. I mean, life is not easy. It's very hard, but I choose to be positive.
Yeah.
You know, every morning you have a choice. Do you want to be happy today? Do you want to touch someone's life today? Do you want to be a burden today? Do you want to be hated by people today? And we don't want that. And so I think the positive attitude that I carry with me is because I feel all the love for my family, from my coworkers, and most especially from people like you, Ian.
Well, I really appreciate our friendship.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate the way that you befriended Risa and I as we went around to the regional meetings. She's always said such positive things about you.
Thank you.
So I guess I'll ask you this as well before we wrap up. Risa is an example of a Filipina that accomplished a lot here, and now she's gone. And I think that happens a lot in this community, is that people have an opportunity in Dubai or Singapore or Seoul or Australia, and all of a sudden someone that you counted on, that you had vision for like a long-term friendship, you're going to collaborate, you're going to work together, do this, and all of a sudden they're gone. I know that happens a lot here. So how do you maintain relationship with those that are here, and how do you start over again and keep building that network? Because I think sometimes people get discouraged with like, my closest friend just left, or like my whole network is now doing this thing, and So how do you develop relationships and not become demotivated when new friends like Risa come in? You're like, oh, this is so great. We're going to do so many fun things together. And all of a sudden, oh, she's in California.
I know. But wait, Riza, if you're listening, we'll do great things in California. I have a visa.
Right.
I have a 10-year visa. I can go there anytime.
You
Let's
come
do
visit
this,
us.
Riza. So anyway, you know, the same way, the same question earlier you asked is, I choose to just connect. I do not choose any kind of person to talk to or to be friends with.
Yeah.
I will talk to the waiter. I've befriended the security. I've befriended all the waiters in the lounge because everyone deserves to be heard, no matter what you are doing, no matter what stage you are or state you are in your life right now. And so I choose to love, I choose to embrace, and I choose to see the best in every person. It may sound like a cliche, but Ian, you know that I do it.
You do.
You know that I live it.
Yeah.
If someone comes to me here and asks me questions, I will have time for you.
Yeah.
I will listen to you because that's the same way I want to be heard as well.
Yeah.
And golden rule, do unto others what you want them to do to you, right?
Well, you do that.
And so, yeah, I believe that I do not just build friendship, I build relationships.
Yeah.
And I think I'm proud of that.
Well, I think there's a lot of people that are proud of you. I imagine your husband is very proud of you. I imagine your 3 kids are very proud of you.
Thank you so much.
I know that people say a lot of good things about you behind your back.
I hope it's all good.
It is. People feel very warm toward you, and they should, because the way you treat them. So I honor you, and that's why I asked you to jump in and do this with me.
Thank you so much, Ian.
Yes.
I will visit.
Please come
As
visit.
I said, I have a 10-year
We live
visa.
on the sand. We look at the Pacific Ocean.
Oh my God, that's gonna
You're
be
gonna love it.
wonderful. So yeah, I'll see you in Visa soon.
Okay, good.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to have a brief video run of yesterday's highlights, and I'll be back again with another friend in just a moment. To tokenize a community is to ensure that you use decentralization to make this community thrive now and into the future.
I've been so happy. I'm so glad to be here. I can't wait for this event. It's going to be amazing.
If you spin yourself out on just tech talk, then you lose what actually matters. And what really matters is our purpose. Let's not get so technical that we get away from humanity. The humanity side of us, right? The part that makes us want to eat and go to sleep and find a mate and go have fun and laugh and cry and run. And that part, the primal part.
I'm really honored to be here, and like you said, the energy is really wild. I've never experienced anything like this in my life.
Go find a community that needs a heart and go feel for them. Go find a community that needs a brain and go think for them. Find your people. Find your purpose.
If you follow this process, if you follow the disciplines necessary for you to be able to just do what you're doing day in, day out, by the end of the month, end of the year, hopefully you'll get the same result.
This is not a keynote where I just give you the answers. This is a keynote where I try to get you to spark the ideas in your own mind. AI will be the key for us because AI is going to make our NFT project
more successful and more vibrant, and they'll run Discord, they'll run Telegram, and like, they'll do this stuff. We don't even need people anymore. AI's gonna do our meme thing, right? They're gonna help us scale and sustain forever. No struggles, no hardship, right? Because nobody's involved. It's just AI that does it all. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Philippine Blockchain Week 2025. I'm here with my friend Julian.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Glad to.
It's been a while. It's a pleasure. Always
I know
being
it's been a long time. You and I got to spend so much time together last year because I was living here.
Yeah.
I'd love to just start off with what's keeping you busy today. You got Secure Horizons coming up. You help lead the Security Council, Cybersecurity Council, and you also are part of a startup.
Yeah.
So just give me the update. Like, what's happening in Julian?
Yeah. So I am now leading Unalytics, which is the IT arm of DCME.
Yes.
Which you are very well familiar of.
Of course.
I am also leading the cybersecurity practice of DCME, and as well as I am now the data privacy officer.
Yes.
Of the entire organization.
Wow.
Aside from that, I am also working together with Donald.
Yes.
To launch the Cybersecurity Council of the Philippines, to which, by the way, for everyone listening, we are launching this, or our inaugural GMM and induction ceremony will happen on Friday.
Yes.
That's going to be on the 13th of June at the Western Manila.
Okay.
Where you had your
I love that place.
It was very memorable to me. I was like, I know I've been here before.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, and of course, we have our Secure Horizons event, to which you have spearheaded last year with me.
Do you remember what I said last year when I opened?
I did.
I said I want to reiterate this because I think this is really important as a model. You know, you and Donald were kind to ask me to come speak. Gave me quite a lot of time. You let me ride my one wheel on the stage.
Yeah. To which, by the way, is the coolest thing ever.
I think it's cool. It's right back here. And you let me do the opening keynote. And the first thing I talked about was knowledge is not enough.
Exactly.
Action must be taken.
Yeah.
Therefore, if action must be taken, then who are you going to trust to do the services? Who are you going to trust with the products?
That's true.
And then I talked about the significance of you and Donald and your teams being trustworthy. And I feel like there's a lack of honor in a lot of our community environments.
Yeah.
For instance, it would be easy for me to come here, live stream on all my own channels, talk about us the whole time.
Yeah.
So it's like a choice for me to live stream on PBW's channels. It's a choice to talk about Donald and Cheska and Janelle and the team when I jump on a stage. And it was a choice to acknowledge you and Donald and encourage that entire room of executives to hire you, to lean on you, to trust you with services. So in that spirit, we're here at Philippine Blockchain Week.
Yeah.
What is it that you honor about Donald and Cheska and Janelle and the team that run PBW? And why is this an important community now that it's in its 7th event? We did 4 last year, the original in 2022, and here we are, the 7th event at the SMX Convention Center. Why is this important, and how do you view the leaders that kind of lead the charge as the work they're doing is important work?
Yeah, so it might not look like it, but I'm an educator at heart. So when I see students,
I always thought I was going to call you professor.
Thank you so much.
Call you PJ, Professor Julian.
Thank you. But I am so inspired when I see a community built around students.
Yeah.
You know, I guess you can say that all of us here right now, everyone in this location right now in SMX during the PBW is is a student at heart, but it takes so much knowledge for you to become an educator. And the way you, Donald, Cheska, Janelle, brings everyone in the community together with the students. I see a lot of students, which
Tons.
obviously surprises me
Right.
because we know how important these guys are.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we may have the likes of, maybe a 40, 50-year-old guy walking around looking at the different solution services and application of
Right.
of how Web3 or blockchain can do for them.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it would be these little people or these kids who will take over and push forward with the idea. If you don't get them to understand and believe that this is something doable,
Right.
or this is something that they can carry over to the others who are way younger than them, it cannot continue.
Right.
So it's very important for us to make them understand, make them believe, make them, how do I say it? Make them understand, make them believe, and make them appreciate.
Yes.
There you go. Make them appreciate of what blockchain can do, not just for them, but for their entire community.
Yes.
It's very important to, and again, as an educator at heart, I appreciate what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
You guys are teaching each and every one in your own little way.
Yeah.
Like you being live in this channel, for the ones that are unable to come and join us today, Donald, Jessica, Janelle, everyone else, Gail, who goes up in the stage to explain what they know about blockchain and what the different application of blockchain in their lives are. It's important.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. And again, to the entire blockchain community, guys, if you're not here, you're missing a lot.
Right.
So hopefully next year, when this thing goes on again, we hope you guys can come and join us.
Yes.
Yeah.
So tell me the dates for Secure Horizons.
Yeah.
And what are you looking forward to as your second inaugural? Because last year was a smash hit. I mean, I can't fathom how you're going to match and top it.
I know.
So tell me what the vision is for this year.
Yeah. So this year, it's going to be our second year, second reiteration, or our new reiteration of the Secure Horizons event. So again, it'll be held at the Manila Marriott Hotel on August 20th, 2025. That'll be a Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. So we are expecting more because with the help of the launch of Cybersecurity Council of the Philippines, we now have a much wider network
Right.
that can help us spread the word.
Yeah.
And this year we are pushing the students, the professors, the cybersecurity practitioners to come and join us.
Yes.
Because what we've learned is that cybersecurity is not just a product, not just a service, but the entire idea of the entire community
Yeah.
to come and protect everyone. You can't just protect yourself because there would always be a vulnerability one way or another. Now, if you guys are just like, unfortunately, the best idea I can come up with is COVID.
Right.
If the entire community is unvaccinated, is
Right.
not vaccine,
Right.
or
Taking the vaccination.
yeah, do not take vaccination properly, the spread would always be there. The spread is inevitable. But if everyone learns at least the cybersecurity fundamentals, how to protect yourself, how to
That
protect
helps the whole community.
exactly, and that's what we are gunning for. That's what we're aiming for.
Right. Like if everybody has a gun to protect their family, that's better than nobody or one person having a gun to protect their family, because then the whole place, maybe that's a bad analogy, but then the whole place secure. In America, we think about guns as a way for people to have their own protection rights. I don't know how it is here, but the point is, when everyone has security set in place with their businesses, especially because most businesses are impacting so many consumers at once. Finally, tell me what you love about the Philippines, your culture, your people, the businesses here. What are you most proud of as a Filipino?
Is that despite of how much divided we are, with the political play, with how things are very political nowadays. I love how people still get together,
Yeah.
and set aside their political beliefs to help one another.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about us. Um, to be honest with you, quite for the past couple of years, I kind of learned to myself that unfortunately, we're they always say na ang Pilipinas ang hirap mong mahalin, or Philippines are so hard to love because of how the elections come up or what the results of the elections are. But I believe that in fact that all these challenges that are happening left and right,
Yeah.
it basically brings us all together, stronger, tighter, and as a Filipino who's been here for what 37 years, I am only hoping for the best. Yeah.
Well, it's better because of you.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
And it's a pleasure, and it's way better having you here.
Well, I love being here. You know that.
I know. I know.
You know how much I love your people and your culture.
You're already an Filipino American.
That's right.
Yes.
That's why.
Sometimes you're more Pinoy than some of the people that I know. Right?
Good. I hope so. That's an
Yeah.
honor to hear. All right, my friends. I'll have the producers run our 4-minute recap of the event that Julian mentioned, which was.
The future of Web3 and AI is unfolding before us. Communities, education, business, government, media, and art are undergoing a metamorphosis that will redefine our world. Now is the time. Make the leap.
Collaborating and sharing ideas and thoughts with each other throughout the day.
Technology advances like 100 miles a minute. I'm super excited to learn from everyone here today.
We don't want to be the target, and we don't want to be the product. We want to be the owner of our digital information. We want to be the owner of our digital lives, because our lives are no longer just physical, they are digital and physical. Change the narrative on how we've been teaching for all these years, and look back on how we used to teach, and challenge our students with, hey, coming with the right knowledge to you. AI has democratized, basically, at this point, knowledge, like we said earlier. It's giving you the ability to know what I know, giving you the ability to even question what I know.
All of us have had to learn to cryptography. We've had to learn how to download an OKX wallet. We've had to learn how to buy and sell crypto, learn how to buy and sell NFTs. We've had to learn the process of what a smart contract does.
Wow, we did it. Web3 AI, wasn't that quick? It came and so fast, right? But didn't you feel like you belonged? If you're here with us, you should feel like your voice matters. Like you're amongst people that want to hear what you have to say. They want to hear your questions. They want to hear your thoughts and your insights. We got to hear from way over 100 people today, right? We didn't have a stage with speakers and panelists. Instead, we had a Congress-style conversation for all of us to learn from one another. It was my joy to gather us together, and it is an honor to bring this event to you. And if you're watching this video later, don't miss the next Web3 AI event. We hope to have you join us the next time we gather in this type of capacity.
Welcome back to Philippine Blockchain Week 2025, day 2 here at the SMX Convention Center. I'm here with my friend Katz.
Hi, Ian.
We just watched the recap video of the event that your team helped us put on.
That was such an experience, man. Thank you for making us part of it. Thank you for making us witness it. The energy in the community is such a strong one and such an empowering one.
Yes. Tell me about the importance of community, because most of the professional people here, whether corporate or this field of blockchain or AI or any field at all, when they think about if I could only have one person or one team that I could bring in to help me run my community event, you are on the top of the list. So you help basically make leaders, help them to manifest their vision for their community, their clients, their prospects. Why is gathering people together like this? This is our 7th event for Philippine Blockchain Week. Why is, and what we did together for the first Web3 AI, why is this important in your mind, gathering people together?
You know, in a fast-paced industry, such as where we are at, questioning yourself, questioning whether what you're doing is right, questioning whether this is the best that can be executed to share your message, your vision, that's a heavy load. And to put that on top of the entrepreneur, the startup, or the company that is actually championing the industry, that's not their expertise. So we do this, or I do this, because that's my expertise. I build events. That's my strength.
Yeah.
And if I want to witness the magic of transformation in industries, especially here, doing this gives me a front row seat.
Yes.
To things that I get to watch unfold and help bring about.
Right.
And for me, that's such a privilege.
Yes.
And the fact that when I do this, it gives the founders, the entrepreneurs, the startups, the companies comfort that they don't have to think about the actual execution, but just what their message is. They want as an objective to be reached for that particular initiative.
Yes.
That's in my mind a collaboration I can be a part of.
So when you think about the events that you've been a part of, and you think about having vision for like the 2nd year or Philly Blockchain Week, the 8th year, how do you see these gatherings evolve, right? Like Web3 AI was year 1. This is year 7. There's events that you've helped that were only going to be 1 year, but then they kept going. Or events that were going to be decades long and they did 1 or 3 and they stopped. How do events evolve over time? And do you enjoy being able to participate in the evolution and maturity of an event in the community?
You know, the beauty of the industry we're at, which is technology, you can plan as much as you want, but the industry listens and collaborates and speaks with people. We thrive on talking and collaborating and networking. And so the events for the following year is usually built about the conversations, the partnerships, and the collaborations built at that particular event that's happening currently, and continued on with conversations and meetings and coffee, even over Zoom sometimes because it's cross-border.
Yeah.
And that's how the next year develops. And the following year develops. It is always evolving. You can plan what's going to be the topic or the theme the following year.
Right.
But this industry, for whatever reason, evolves based on what is relevant.
Yeah.
And that is very much how it empowers a community, because the fact that it continues to try to keep itself relevant, even closer to the event, if there are new people coming out, they become part of it. Unlike other industries where they plan years in advance,
Right.
the new players don't have a space.
Right. Yes. When you think about associations that you're a part of, like you helped found the Global Global AI Council with our friend Kate, and you did that here in the Philippines, right? So when you think about associations, councils, it's not a community like event, it's not a conference, but it's a consistent group that gets together to push forward education, collaboration. How is that important to you, and why would you take time away from your business, away from your 5 kids, to be a part of another thing? Like, how does another thing get your attention and get you to say yes? Because you must say no to almost everything that people ask you to help with.
You know when it's worth it? When you see the reason behind something. It's not just that you say yes. Sometimes it's you that drives it. And that's how I feel. I'll be very honest. The bottom line in everything I say yes to is I have 5 kids. Where are they going to grow up? What are they going to be doing later on? And honestly, I have no idea at this stage, because of their current ages, what industry they're going to end up in.
Right.
And so those things that I say yes to, I firmly feel 10 years from now, it's going to affect an industry my kids might be a part of later on. And for me, that's important as a mom.
Right.
But also, what's nice about things that I'm able to be a part of is I have one advocacy, if you want to really put it down to one. It's to break the silos.
Yeah.
Because I've seen how collaboration, communication, and just simply talking can fast track development.
Right.
No one at this day and age should function as an island.
Right.
Because when you do that, you don't leverage on best practices. You make so many mistakes. That's how businesses fail. A lot of capital gets burned.
Right.
But with all of the events that we're doing, we foster communication,
right,
and mentorship.
Yeah.
So that's where I say yes. Anything else, if it doesn't answer breaking silos,
right,
or fostering relationships and mentorship, I probably will say no, because there are other people who can just execute.
Right.
I prefer doing events where I'm part of the discussion, I'm part of the collaboration, and I watch it actually help the industry.
Right. When you think about the AI Council, where is that at today compared to when you founded it? And where do you want it to go in terms of your involvement, the impact, locally in the Greater Manila area and nationally across all of the Philippines?
Let me clarify that there is actually the Global AI Council, which is founded by Kate.
Yes.
And I have been invited, and I have the privilege of being the country director for the Philippines.
Right.
That one advocates for democratized education in AI, and they're doing a fantastic job providing that platform, to the point that it's even helping our regional students. They're doing it for free as well. So I champion that with them. And then in order to make sure that we are able to function here in the Philippines, I have to register a separate organization called Global AI Council Philippines.
Right.
This needs to make sure that we support the Global AI Council in education, but also be effective and relevant to what the Philippine context is at the moment. So Global AI Council Philippines, what we want is really to advocate for ethical AI adoption and integration here in the Philippines by 2025. And that is the fastest vision I've ever built. Why? We need to catch up fast.
because the Filipinos are not just a user base. Right now, we're a user base. But part of our DNA is that we develop, we are manpower. Like we're service providers for different countries.
Right.
And so the faster we adopt ethical AI, the faster our skill sets are able to adapt to the current requirements globally, then we support the ecosystem. We support now the Filipinos having a future.
Yes.
Their fear of their AI losing, taking over their jobs, it's a very valid fear.
Right.
But it's not a fear where we can just stand and freeze, right? We need to make sure that we are not frozen just because we're afraid.
Yes.
We need to understand what it is,
Right.
understand where we can learn and adopt and become service providers and even developers and even architects
Right.
ourselves.
Yeah. Ethical AI. So I've had a chief of ethics at my company for 11 years. And so I love to wrap up our conversation with what is the importance of ethics in technology, and especially something so significant and impactful as AI.
I'd like to start by saying that ethics is actually relative. Every culture has a different definition of what is ethical.
That's right.
Right? And proper governance.
Right.
But it's very simple. AI can be used for ill or for good.
Right.
A lot of people are afraid of it. You will see in news articles, media being talked about how it's being used for harming human lives, even. But here's the thing. AI is a technology for me that's a great equalizer. Anyone can use it.
Right.
Anyone can be a part of it. And so I am praying and I'm hoping that with what we're doing, the people who use AI for good will trump the people who use AI for ill.
Right.
Because it is trainable. It is how you use it. It is how you prompt it.
Right.
And it's not about mechanizing humans. It's about humanizing the technology.
Right.
And that is why it's very important that ethical AI is something that people are aware of from the onset of developing to the using, to the prompting, because it doesn't stop learning. And no matter at what stage you are using AI, you can be part of making sure it becomes a little bit more ethical every time you use it.
Yes.
And for me, it's all about what's good for you. You can prompt your AI saying, what you told me is bad. What you told me is wrong. This is my belief. This is what's right. The more that you prompt that, and anyone can do that, you see. You don't have to be an AI software engineer or architect. Anyone can do that.
Yes.
And I'm hoping that with more people doing that, AI learns to be.
Yes. Well, I so appreciate you. I think it's really easy for people to look up to you. And I really remember when we did our event together, how much your team respects you and how much they follow your lead and they perform well for you. You know, they want to perform on your behalf. And so I guess the last thing is, if people are interested in asking you to participate and to hire your team to help them do an event like what you did for Web3 AI, which is what we just saw before you and I came on, how can they get in touch with you and how can they find out about what would it take to have them engage with your team to put on a world-class event like what you did for us?
This is not as easy as it sounds because my company is actually a word of mouth advocacy-driven company. But if you know Ian, I'm his friend in LinkedIn. I'm his friend in Facebook. My name is Catherine Halantoni. You can add me up and you can message me there. And of course, Ian can also link us together.
Yes. Well, I think that's a great answer. Okay. Well, thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you for the privilege of your seat. This is a beautiful booth.
Yeah, I'm really, really proud of our team.
Fantastic.
Our team did a great job with this, and it's been a lot of fun. We've had this line go around. I think we've had like over 1,000 people spin our wheel.
Amazing.
It's just amazing. Yeah.
And it's so engaging. So
yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Friends on the internet, I'll be back again very soon. I'll have the team run a video for you, and I'll have another incredible person like Kat sit down with me to share a conversation.
To tokenize a community is to ensure that you use decentralization to make this community thrive now and into the future.
I've been so happy. I'm so glad to be here. I can't wait for this event. It's going to be amazing.
If you spin yourself out on just tech talk, then you lose what actually matters. And what really matters is our purpose. Let's not get so technical that we get away from humanity. The humanity side of us, right? The part that makes us want to eat and go to sleep and find a mate and go have fun and laugh and cry and run. And that part, the primal part.
I'm really honored to be here, and like you said, the energy is really wild. I've never experienced anything like this in my life.
Go find a community that needs a heart and go feel for them. Go find a community that needs a brain and go think for them. Find your people. Find your purpose.
If you follow this process, if you follow the disciplines necessary for you to be able to just do what you're doing day in, day out, by the end of the month, end of the year, hopefully you'll get the same result.
This is not a keynote where I just give you the answers. This is a keynote where I try to get you to spark the ideas in your own mind. AI will be the key for us because AI is going to make our NFT project more successful and more vibrant, and they'll run Discord, they'll run Telegram, and they'll do this stuff. We don't even need people anymore. AI is going to do our meme thing, right? They're going to help us scale and sustain forever. No struggles, no hardship, right? Because nobody's involved. It's just AI that does it all.
The future of Web3 and AI is unfolding before us. Communities, education, business, government, media, and art are undergoing a metamorphosis that will redefine our world. Now is the time. Make the leap.
Collaborating and sharing ideas and thoughts with each other throughout the day.
Technology advances like 100 miles a minute. I'm super excited to learn from everyone here today.
want to be the target, and we don't want to be the product. We want to be the owner of our digital information. We want to be the owner of our digital lives, because our lives are no longer just physical, they are digital and physical. Change the narrative on how we've been teaching for all these years and look back on how we used to teach and, challenge our students with, hey, coming with the right knowledge to you. AI has democratized, basically, at this point, knowledge, like we said earlier. It's giving you the ability to know what I know, giving you the ability to even question what I know.
All of us have had to learn cryptography. We've had to learn how to download an OKX wallet. We've had to learn how to buy and sell crypto, learn how to buy and sell NFTs. We've had to learn the process of what a smart contract does.
Wow, we did it. Web3 AI, wasn't that quick? It came and so fast, right? But didn't you feel like you belonged? If you're here with us, you should feel like your voice matters. Like you're amongst people that want to hear what you have to say. They want to hear your questions. They want to hear your thoughts and your insights. We got to hear from way over 100 people today, right? We didn't have a stage with speakers and panelists. Instead, we had a Congress-style conversation for all of us to learn from one another. It was my joy to gather us together, and it is an honor to bring this event to you. And if you're watching this video later, don't miss the next Web3 AI event. We hope to have you join us the next time we gather in this type of capacity.
Welcome to Philippine Blockchain Week 2025. It's the 7th event that you and Janelle and Donald have led with an incredible team. Congratulations on this event.
Thank you. Thanks
So
for
we're
being
here at
as
the, I'm so happy to be here. I've been at all of them.
Yes.
I went to all 4 last year.
Everything.
Davao, Bacolod, Bataan, of course, Manila. The first 2, I remember talking with you about it, like, I don't know, early 2022, it seemed as though, when it was just an idea.
Yeah.
So here you are at the SMX Convention Center. Tell me one or more highlights that you've really enjoyed today or yesterday in this gathering.
From a perspective of an organizer, probably my favorite was the boxing.
That was
It's
cool.
just like, it's really something that puts us in the map. Honestly, that fight night is usually in big conferences.
Yeah.
And I feel like because of that,
It made it big.
It made it bigger. Like, they know of the Philippines. Some don't know about the Philippines, but it made Philippines
on the
to be
map.
in the map, and and I really love that about it. And then probably the creators, because there are like
over in Hall 2.
Yeah, creators, and it's such a whole new world because they don't know anything about blockchain.
Right.
Right. Or cryptos in general.
Right.
And I feel like because of that, it's actually attracting mass adoption as well, because then their fans now knows like what is blockchain.
Right.
Even the word blockchain alone, it just makes me feel like we're getting there somewhere.
Right. And tell me a bit about changing locations, right? So Marriott Manila for the first 2 events.
Yeah.
Last year it was 4 different locations.
Yeah.
3 were in the provinces, and now a brand new convention center. So you have more space, and it's huge here and open and massive ceilings and unlimited opportunity. And so, what's the experience been like for you and the team to make physical location changes?
Oh, it's not easy, I swear. Especially when you came from the first 2 is the biggest ballroom in the Philippines, and now it's the biggest convention center in the Philippines,
Right.
which are two different,
Totally different things.
totally different. But the good thing is, we are now reaching more on the masses
That's right.
because people, it's actually accessible.
Yes.
It's near the mall. Anyone can just go here.
Yes.
And it's accessible, so it's anyone can just come.
Yes.
And even the fans of all the creators and just normal mall goers, they can just
Right.
look at that what's happening.
Right.
And it's such a change of scenery, but I think it's exciting
Yes.
in a way because it's a new challenge for us. Really a challenge also because of course new suppliers, new everything, new. Next time I know we already know what to do.
Yes.
But yeah.
Have there been other people that have been with us for all 7 events besides Donald, Janelle, you, and I?
Huh.
It's sometimes hard for me to tell if like some of the AB people have been at all 7 or some of the team have been at all 7, but I was trying to think to myself, has anybody been here for all of the last 6? Jason Brink was at the big ones.
Yeah.
We see you. We're talking about you right now. Yes, all good things. So,
oh, thank you, Jason.
thank you, bro. So obviously, Jason's been at our 3 major events.
Yeah.
But this is an example.
Actually, I cannot think of anyone.
I can't either.
Yeah, probably. I mean, the DIC team for sure. But
the team.
Probably the Emmy, Emmy from DIC team, but that's it. Because they're
Okay.
the government partner. But as a speaker,
Yeah.
they're like the only speaker who's been there since day one.
Right. Is that consistency important in events in general? And is it important specifically to this culture? Like, is it nice to just bring in a bunch of new people and have 80% kind of new voices, new ideas? Like that's what we've basically done at NF10YC, right? We're on our 8th event in 2 weeks. We've had like over 10,000 people speak at our events. Crazy. And it's like 85-90% new speakers every time.
Yeah.
And again, there's like a handful of us that have been to all 8 of them.
Yeah. Honestly, for me, I would love to be the perfect combination for me is 80% new and 20% who's been there consistently. Actually, you've been doing that now. 20% are actually like you now, starting to be there every time consistently, but 80% is you. Reason being, because I like that, is the people needs to, some of them don't travel to other countries, and the reason I want to bring more new people is for them to explore more opportunities and jobs and whatnot, right? So I think 80-20 is a perfect mix for me. And just like you, some of them just want to come back and back and back and back. And I love it. Yeah. That means that we're doing something, nice because they come back. Like you now have a wife who's a Filipina, and
I'm very thankful.
I know, and I was like, I'm telling the speakers, come to the Philippines because you just might find the love of your life.
I did meet Riza at Philippine Blockchain Week.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I mean, these are the stories that we love to hear, not just the love stories, but even so I meet people telling me they met their co-founder here, they met their investor here, and it's giving me goosebumps right now. But it's an avenue, it's a platform. So I'm just happy that this is happening.
When you think about where this goes in the future, like, do you look at Philippine Blockchain Week 2030, 2040? Like, do you have vision for a decade out? And what do you want to see develop and mature over time?
You know what? Honest opinion, I do not know if this is still going to happen in 2030 because Philippine is very limiting. Blockchain is very limiting. And
there's like a new rule June 30th.
Very limiting.
Right.
My point is, probably we'll still be here, but on a different name. I do not know.
I see.
I mean, I really, like if God wants that to happen, then we can do it worldwide. Yeah. But if this still continues, because the government is very supportive, it can continue on and on and on and on. Sure. As long as the government is supportive and the Filipino people are supportive, I mean, what can we do? Can just continue it, right?
Your parents are here at like all of them.
All of them. Well, they're the consistent ones.
And you know how much I have bonded with them, right? You invited me over to their house early in 2022, and some other people. And so, what's it like for you to have people that are just like supportive in the audience, like family, friends? They come. They're not coming because they want to speak. They're not coming because they have a product to sell or a service to sell, but they're here because they love you. They want to support you. They just want to be around for the journey.
I know. You know, I've been teary-eyed yesterday because a lot of sponsors and speakers were here, right? And their last, like even on stage, they will be telling me, "I'm here just because of you." And I really, I don't know. It just warms my heart knowing that they're here because of me. But then after that, they have more reasons to come back to the Philippines, and it's just me as a trigger for them to come. And I don't know. I'm speechless in terms of the feeling that you know, it's just amazing for these people to just fly in on their own, and you know, and just supporting me. So my parents, of course, especially, right? They've been here. They're like my wingman there, you know. So, very fortunate, very blessed.
Yes. Is there anything that if someone's watching live and maybe they're going to come to the Block Awards, maybe they're busy with something, and you say to you got their attention, you're like, you got to come here and see Michael Cinco's 3 cars.
Oh yeah.
Or you got to come here and you got to go look at what is the 1 or 3 things that people have to check out while they have a chance?
Oh, definitely you have to check out my Michael Cinco cars.
Yeah.
So it's a Dubai-based company. I actually brought the UAE to the Philippines.
Right.
So even the ambassador earlier of Philippines to the UAE actually had the message of support to us.
Right.
So it's that that for sure. That's number 1. Second, the Philippine Block Awards, because it's the culmination of all, you know, the big guys in the Philippines, especially the people who are championing blockchain and tech in the Philippines. So it's a must watch. And third, we still have more talks and celebrity performances until like 8 p.m. and celebrity booths all over, and gaming for sure.
Yeah.
So you can still come actually.
Yeah, it's not too late.
It's not too late. It's until 8 p.m.
That's right.
Yeah, they can still come.
I guess the final question I'll ask you is, you have been spending a lot of time in Dubai. And so what's it been like for you to kind of go back and forth between the 2 countries? What do you miss about your culture, your people, your country when you're gone? What have you really enjoyed about Dubai? It's like one of the most incredible, if not the most incredible place in the world. So let's talk about that for a second before we wrap up.
I feel like Dubai is giving me the energy, the vibe. It's more of the hustle culture. And I feel like everything is just efficient in terms of meeting people. You meet for like 10, 15 minutes, you have another deal, you know? So I really love that about Dubai. And it's just, you go to a coffee shop, you meet a CEO, you know, it's like everyone's there. So it's like a hub for everyone.
Yeah.
Every single company has been to Dubai. I think that's what's happening, right? And so I can easily just, you know, grab all of them just for coffee or whatnot. But in the Philippines, of course, this is home for me. This is where my kids are. And that's what I miss about it. It's like sometimes when I'm hustling every day in Dubai, and I feel like, oh, I miss the hugs of my kids. And I feel like that's what I really love about the Philippines, is that when I'm here, I'm home. And I'm telling my mom, I was like, when I'm here, I feel like I'm on a vacation. So, but I'm still working, but I'm on a vacation just because they're here.
Right.
And the food, I mean, both countries, I love the food, but other than that, it's really more of the family. And I don't feel like I'm in Dubai because there's a lot of Filipinos. Right. Like every single store there in Dubai Mall, there's a Filipino, so I don't feel homesick. Right. It's part of my family that I
Do they come visit you?
Once they did, but I mean, I come visit them.
Yeah.
Because I can fly anytime. So.
I guess we should also acknowledge we're live on all of your channels. Yeah. So anything you want to say to those that have given their attention to your Facebook, your Instagram, your X, your LinkedIn? You know, not everybody that tunes into your socials has ever been here, or they've been here once or twice, but they still are interested. So what would be your, like, you can just look at that camera, what would be your message to them in terms of how should they stay connected? Why should they tune in? And whatever you want to say.
Honestly, I gave a welcome remarks to the people on Hall 2. They are non-blockchain, non-crypto people. And they were thinking, why a singing competition, a hip-hop dance competition is happening there. And the reason I told them is that here you would find a lot of opportunities that is not in your industry, first of all. Second, aside from the jobs and the opportunities, I feel like you're experiencing the world in one area in the Philippines that's very accessible, that's very affordable, but everyone is here. Like you're gonna experience Malaysia, you're gonna experience Indonesia, Dubai, Australia, and every single nationality they're here.
Yeah.
So it's expanding your network, expanding your knowledge. The reason I restarted this and the reason I pitched this to Donald before is because I've been to several conferences.
Right.
That's the only reason. Imagine if someone here just literally pops out and then watches something and sparks something in their mind. Probably they have a project, a very nice project that will be starting in the future.
Right.
So I'm encouraging. Honestly, this is kind of hard because even my family members doesn't even understand about blockchain. They're still not here.
Right.
So it's not that easy to bring people in who's not in the industry yet. But slowly, because of some events that I have, example was like the Michael Cinco fashion show.
Right.
I mean, people there just knows about fashion.
Right.
And it just sparks something in them. And for me, honestly, that's already good.
Yeah.
Because anything that sparks something in you, whether for whatever industry that is,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we're doing the right, job.
Yes. Well, thanks for sitting down with me. It's been fun to broadcast all your channels. I think people have enjoyed it.
And thank you for doing this.
You're welcome.
Thank you for doing this. Really.
Yeah. Now, you know how much I care about you and Donald and Janelle and this event. And so it's important to me to come and be supportive.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. And Web3 AI has been a big help. You in general, whatever company you're bringing, I mean, you're just supporting every time. And
Yes.
we will support you also.
Thank you.
Everything. So thank you, Ian.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank
Our
you.
Internet, I'll be back again with another conversation in just a moment. Peace.
Thank you.
Our
We made
team
it
did a
happen.
great job. Yes, our team made it happen. Here we are. Welcome to our awesome booth.
Super awesome.
Thank you for inviting us to have this spot.
Yes.
So for those that don't know you, because they have never come to PBW before, even though they're listed on the channels, so give a little background, your role here, how you've led the last 7 events, and just
yeah.
just a little peek into your world.
Okay, the 2-minute version.
Yeah.
So yeah, my name's Janelle Barreto. Okay, so I got into this space because Donald invited me, and
Right.
Donald is like my Pied Piper.
Right.
You know, he says jump, you know, I say how high, right? So, but Donald and I go way back when we were in the Web 1 to Web 2 space.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm aging myself a little bit, but basically that digital transformation, I was smack in the middle of that, being in the advertising media space, right? So it was an important it was an important time for an important industry.
Yes.
I was and I also moved to mainstream media, which was CNN Philippines.
Right.
While Donald was doing ABS-CBN and all that, but industry-wise, we were doing digital congress, you know, and Donald's always been the visionary.
Yeah.
So when he entered the blockchain space, I'm like one of those like, what?
Let's do it.
What? And it's like, okay, I mean, you know, I just do what I'm told.
Yes.
And of course, here I am, 4 years later,
Right.
organizing the biggest blockchain or innovation tech event in the Philippines.
Amazing.
And I think I've personally come a long way in that space.
A long way.
You know, you think sometimes that you've achieved enough, and I'm at that stage in my life where, you know, I feel it's like it's time to slow down, and it's time to slow down. But people who know me, right, are saying, "My God, where do you get your energy?" You know, and I feel so much younger.
Right.
And I'm really pleased about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me about your ability to gather people together that are so diverse from so many different places and be able to create a meaningful event where 10,000 plus people are here in these 4 halls. You've taken over SMX Convention Center. How do you deal with such a diverse community of people?
You know, first of all, so how do I bring them here? Going back again to when Donald basically said, let's do this. He said, exact words, we don't know anyone in this space, but we gotta do it. And of course, the first few events that we attend, we don't know anyone. Where in the Web 2 space, we walk in and everybody knows who we are, right? So it was, so of course the travel, the going around and attending all of these events, such as your wonderful event in New York. I mean, the fact that I went all the way there to attend this event, and I felt like really lost during that time. And then now to come here and actually organize these events for a very diverse group of people, doing our roadshow events, the BBWX, where we could focus on different types of communities per event.
Yes.
You know, the diversity of blockchain as a technology, having, you know, the touch points with gaming, you know, the GameFi, so the young kids and all that. Then of course the NFTs and the metaverse side of things. And then of course the DeFi, the more serious stuff, right? You know, it's the challenge actually is creating an event of this scale, targeting so many different demographics and profiles of attendees. It's really a challenge because it's just so many. When people say, who's going to attend your event? Well, there are, you know, even the age demographic so diverse. And then the interest base is so diverse.
Yes.
But it all comes together because this is just bigger than what we know, right?
Yes.
And everybody learns from everything. You know, you come here and your expertise is content creation or KOLs and things like that. You come here and then you learn something new from the other side. And just to have that and bring these people together, introduce, you know, even when I introduce people, it's like, hey, this is Ian, this is, you know, you meet together and then
2 months later, I hear they're best friends and
Right.
cooking up this massive projects that's making a difference. And I'm saying, I introduced them. I mean, these are the physical introductions, but the non-direct, the indirect
Right.
introductions that we're making.
Well, I mean,
just putting up this event.
reason I met building blockchain.
Yes, that's the kind of thing, right? And a lot of people who were saying, like Chris Nook and all of these people that you met, and then they come up with amazing projects and make lifelong friends.
Yes.
And that's just amazing to me. I mean, it's the gratification of that is.
You must be very tired. You put so much into this.
Thank you.
As it's almost to the end of day 2, what do you feel most grateful and thankful for? If there's one thing that you're like, I'm so thankful for this or that, what's something that really rises above the others?
You know, that we're coming out of this surviving and with the promise of bigger things to come.
Right.
So many things can get effed up, right?
Right.
I mean, this is an event of this scale.
It's huge.
So many minute details that could just, and I mean, I won't talk about it, but of course there were massive, you know.
Of course.
You know, I can't even, and you know, we're going from elation to, you know, despair, and you know, you just think that this is the last. I'm not doing this anymore. Right. Coming into this because there were just so many challenges. Right. And then you come up with this, and then all of the feedback that's coming back from people, you know, and even those who sort of like, yesterday we're not happy because of this and that, and then they come back and say, wow, you know, I've exceeded my KPIs.
Right.
This is just such a different from what I expected.
Yeah.
And then they forget
what
they were complaining about yesterday. So, I mean, I'm getting real honest feedback from a lot of, you know, honest people.
Yes.
But I think just on the whole, everybody's so happy with, you know, with just being part of it.
Yeah.
And I think the promise of something bigger, all of a sudden, I'm not saying this is the last.
Right.
I'm actually telling Donald and Cheska, what's next?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's go. Let's, you know, I was talking to DICT
Right.
and saying, let's already set the date for the October event.
Right.
You know, before we procrastinated, and, you know, you end up, you know, putting together this event in three weeks time. We already kind of formed the plan in our heads, and we know what we need to do.
Yeah.
And people are starting to pay attention. You know, the people who kind of criticized us before for being too Web 2 or too old or in the space, like, come on. Yeah, we may be old, but we're well connected. We've established ourselves in various industries to be able to bring this to a different level.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, my feedback to you is I'm impressed with your diligence and your faithfulness. You've never given up. This is your 7th event. It's been so much responsibility on your shoulders. There's been so many people that have come and gone that may relieve you for half of an event or 2 events, but now they are not able to stick around for whatever reason. But you've been the one that has kind of put all this burden on your shoulders and just event after event after event after event, gone through the sleepless nights. So the sponsors that benefited, the speakers that benefited, the attendees that benefited, even the live stream that's benefiting right now, is so much of it's a testament to your consistency. And so I respect that, and I want to make sure you know that's how I feel.
Well, thank you so much, Ian. And you've been a huge part of our success. And we love that. I mean, the energy of PBW will not be the same without you, Ian Utile, on your your one-wheeler. You know, the one that you gave us a hard time before. It's like, oh, can I ship it, or do we have to buy one? Now I get it.
Right.
I get it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Whatever it takes, I got to ride the one wheel. Okay. Well, thank you for joining me for the live stream.
I love it.
Thanks for standing with me.
Thank you so much. I've learned so much.
It's 1:05 a.m. for my body, so I'm like, I got to stand now.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Okay. Be back again soon, everybody.
tokenize a community is to ensure that you use decentralization to make this community thrive now and into the future.
I've been so happy. I'm so glad to be here. I can't wait for this event. It's going to be amazing.
If you spin yourself out on just tech talk, then you lose what actually matters. And what really matters is our purpose. Let's not get so technical that we get away from humanity. The humanity side of us, right? The part that makes us want to eat and go to sleep and find a mate and go have fun and laugh and cry and run. And that part, the primal part.
I'm really honored to be here, and like you said, the energy is really wild. I've never experienced anything like this in my life.
Go find a community that needs a heart and go feel for them. Go find a community that needs a brain and go think for them. Find your people. Find your purpose.
If you follow this process, if you follow the disciplines necessary for you to be able to just do what you're doing day in, day out, by the end of the month, end of the year, hopefully you'll get the same result.
This is not a keynote where I just give you the answers. This is a keynote where I try to get you to spark the ideas in your own mind. AI will be the key for us because AI is going to make our NFT project more successful and more vibrant, and they'll run Discord, they'll run Telegram, and they'll do this stuff. We don't even need people anymore. AI is going to do our meme thing, right? They're going to help us scale and sustain forever. No struggles, no hardship, right? Because nobody's involved. It's just AI that does it all.
I am genuinely excited to be speaking here at Philippine Blockchain Week. I honestly can't believe I'm here. I can't believe that God opened up a pathway for me to speak and to glorify Christ as King. 2 weeks ago, I wasn't even planning to be here. It was actually me reaching out to Utile, who's been a part of this community, a part of Blockchain Week for 7 years or something crazy like that. He was an advisor in our project, and he was the only person that hadn't signed his papers yet so that we could allocate Price as King tokens to them, which is rare in this space. Typically, when you haven't given somebody tokens, you just don't give them tokens. But we have such high integrity in what we're doing that I reached out to Ian. I said, Ian, buddy, you got to sign your paper so I can give you your tokens. They're owed to you. After I did that, Ian said, Curtis, I think you're supposed to come with us to the Philippines. What do you think? And I was like, well, yeah. Any chance that I get to talk about Christ as King and what I believe is the new movement across the face of this earth, not just in Christianity, but all communities. I believe tokenized communities is where the world is going. So I hopped on a plane with my spiritual advisor, Alex. I said, let's do this. I didn't know what it was going to look like. I didn't know if I was going to speak. It didn't really matter. All I wanted was for people to encounter God through blockchain, through Web3, through tokenized communities. So I said yes. And here we are. A little bit about me. I'm the CEO, co-CEO of Christ as King. We are a tokenized meme community, but we're more than that. we have a mission that I think is the best way I could put it. I feel like it's a dream from God. About 6 months ago, God told me to build a decentralized church. I don't know if you guys have ever encountered God in that way, where you hear what you could call an audible voice, a gut feeling, a dream, a vision, an inspiration that you know can't come from you. It has to come from heaven because it's so big. I don't even know what building the decentralized church looks like, nor have I even tried to figure it all out, because honestly, guys, something like building the decentralized church is so big. It's way bigger than me, and only God can do that, but I'm willing to be a vessel for him to use. So I started wrestling with him. What does building the decentralized church look like? And he said, launch a meme coin. Launch a meme coin? So I go back to my team and I'm like, guys, so God's talking to me about this decentralized church, which we had talked about for a couple of years. And we were building utility in the background, DPIN projects, layer ones, decentralized IDs, all this fancy mumbo jumbo tech, right? And I was like, I think we're supposed to switch gears. God said he wants to launch a meme coin. He wants to lead first with community, which makes no sense. I knew people would mock us. I knew people would be offended. Putting Christ on chain, making a cartoon out of God, how dare you? And we've already got that kind of feedback. But that's okay. People don't have to understand it. And a lot of times people do not understand God, and they don't understand visionaries. When a dream comes from heaven, I don't know if you're always supposed to understand it. I think you're just supposed to follow him and let him lead the way. And I think often Holy Spirit and God and innovation and big visions, I think it terrifies people. I think their offense is actually fear. It's fear of the unknown. Because what we're talking about is possibly disrupting an institution that's been a certain way for thousands of years. How dare we disrupt 2,000 years? But then I thought about it. I was like, is it really 2,000 years of history? You know, did the first century church have donuts and fog machines? Did they have flags? Did they have a stage? Did they have drum sets? Or is that kind of recent? But we've taken that box and said that's okay. That's now okay to do. That's church. So when God said, build a decentralized church, and I want you to start with a meme coin, I want you to start with community, I asked him why. Why do you want to lead with community? And he said, because you got to touch their hearts before you try to give them technology. You have to bring them together and unify them before you can give them a decentralized ID, before they understand what a layer one is. Bring my church together. In John 17, it talks about Jesus is praying, and his prayer is about unity. And what I think the church has been lacking since the beginning is unity. You had the Orthodox Church and the Catholic Church split, and you had a faction right from the beginning. And then you had the Protestants come in, and a faction happened. And now, over 2,000 years, you have 66,000 denominations, something insane. And all that's saying is that we have a lot of differences and a lot of communities that are all spread out, not speaking to one another. So what if we use technology to bring those communities together? What if we laid down denominations? What if we laid down banners? What if we broke outside the boxes and confines of modern church and we came under one banner? And so I was like, Lord, what is that one banner? What's the one banner that we could all get behind? And I heard him say, Christ is King. It's the only truth. It is literally the only truth that any denomination, any Christian can get behind, is the fact that Christ is King. You have to agree with that. Everything else is subjective, right? So what if we started the first open, inclusive, tokenized community under just the fact that Christ is king, nothing else. I don't care what your denomination is. I don't care what your language is. I don't care what your nationality is. I don't care what your theology is. Do you believe that Christ is king? Do you believe that Christ is king? Well, come and join us. And in fact, what if you don't even care if Christ is king? What if you don't know that yet? With tokenized communities, that's okay. A tokenized community says, if you purchase a token, a $5 worth, $500 worth, $1 worth, a penny, you could join this community. Some people are joining Christ as King. They don't know Jesus yet. They're not Christians, but that's okay. They're in this community for a different reason. They're in this community because they want to be part of something. They want to be connected to people. Maybe they're looking for joy and integrity, something that other communities can't give them. Maybe they're looking for financial gain, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So tokenized communities allow for people to, let's say, buy a membership. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. How many things have you bought in your lives that ask for some sort of financial payment for you to join? Lots of things. Clubs, book clubs ask you to buy a book, right? Country clubs, you got to pay to get into a country club. You want to go to the swimming hole or the swimming pool or whatever in the summer, you pay to enter that and you want to be part of that community. Everything costs money and there's nothing wrong with that. But in a tokenized community, the thing that's different, which I don't think people have quite understood yet, is the community is the one bringing the value. They're saying if we come together and we buy our membership into this community, the value is us. We hold that floor. Not only do we hold that floor and we hold the keys to that community, but we get to get value out of it. So I get to participate in the community, interact with other people, but I get to, if I want to step away from that community or sell off some of my membership, I get to get financial gain from it. This is why tokenized communities are so powerful. It's bringing power back to the people. Now, I don't know if the church right now will like that. I don't know if the church is ready to be decentralized. I don't know if the church is ready to give the power back to the people, but I think God is asking for that. I think God is looking for a group of people that don't need to be in control and don't need to be in power, are willing to give power and sovereignty and freedom and liberty back to the people. That's what Christ is King is. And that's what tokenized communities are. There's this level to tokenized communities that I think is super interesting. It's like they're inclusive in nature because all you have to do is buy a token. Anyone can come in. And that's like the church. Jesus is calling everybody in. Come on in. And you could argue that it's wrong that somebody wants to come into a community because they want financial gain, but why is that wrong? Isn't that why people go to work? Isn't that why people invest in stocks? Isn't that why everybody's okay making money, but all of a sudden when you make money inside of a community, there's some like weird stigma to it? It's kind of odd. What is the skepticism that people have? I've been thinking about that a lot recently. Why is there so much cynicism when it comes to meme coins and tokenized communities? And I go back to fear. There are certain people right now, Ian Utile is one of them, our team at Christ is King, that are pioneering something brand new. And the world isn't ready for it. They may not be ready for it, but regardless of if you're ready for it, when innovation and technology is moving and going, you have to consume it at some point. And so the pioneers right now are pushing forward. There's a wind catching a sail, and we're riding that ship right now. And we're ahead of everybody else, and we're calling everybody onto the ship. And I guarantee that over the next 5 years, tokenized communities will be how every community gets built, because people are going to refuse to let other people control and dictate how their communities get built. People want that. There's an inherent thing inside all of us for freedom. And right now we're bound to the confines of Facebook dictating how our communities work. Some group on Facebook saying this is how the rules work. and the benefit going to one person on Facebook. Well, the rules are flipping upside down, but people just don't know how it works. I believe that tokenized communities, meme coin projects, will move away from being silly pictures and cartoons. For now, they're memes and they're jokes because it's fun. And I think we'll reach a point in the next few years where it will be common phrase to join a tokenized community, where you'll have a wallet with a bunch of different passes, and by entering a token, you get to join this community and interact with a book club, interact with your PTA, interact with your church, interact with your gun club, hold some NFTs, sell some of them off. It will become normal. Just as normal as it is to join a Facebook group, just as normal as it is right now to sell merchandise on TikTok. Nobody would have believed 3 years ago that selling merchandise on TikTok would be a #1 thing. That doesn't even make any sense. But now it's normal. Christ is King, although it's inclusive now, I think the next phase of tokenized communities will be exclusive communities inside inclusive communities. And so to do that, Christ is King is going to be extending to our community NFTs, soul-bound tokens, so you can get your own NFT that's attached to your identity and it's yours. You could gain reputation points. You could attach other NFTs to it. It becomes who you are. It becomes your essence. It's your identity within our community. And maybe you could take that soul-bound token and move it into another tokenized community. And you're gaining points. And you get to interact and collaborate. And as you enter into a community with your NFT, you get to say to the world, this is who I am. This is my skill sets. I'm creative. I'm innovative. I'm a community manager. I have high integrity because I have top reputation scores. And by creating NFTs inside of an inclusive meme coin, what you're doing is creating an exclusive group in there. And that's like that heart. That's that core community. That's where it's really safe. That's where it's your people. Right now, I'm watching on the news. I'm sitting in like the hotel here in the Philippines, and I'm watching LA being burned to the ground, Chicago being burned to the ground. And I'm sitting there watching these people all gather together, and my heart's breaking for them. Because deep down, regardless of your politics, the reason these people are doing that is they lack community. Their community is this. They find their identity in politics, in hatred against one political system, and their community is now aggression. They're seeking things. Everybody is just seeking something. They want to be known, they want to be seen, and sometimes that looks like lashing out, burning down a building, vandalizing, robbing. That's all we are constantly trying to do, is find our people. All those people that are right now in LA burning down the city, if you could offer them a token, if I could go up to one of them and say, I have a community that's for you. Here's some tokens to Christ is King. Enter our community. There's people there that'll love on you, that'll pray for you, that'll support you, that'll talk to you when things get rough. And they ask, what do I have to do? Nothing. Just show up. Bring your full self. Bring your skill set. The community needs it. They need that intensity. People need an outlet. And then they get into this community and they're holding Christ is King, or they're holding Kiki, or they're holding Shibu. And all of a sudden, the market goes up, and all of a sudden they're sitting on, instead of $250, they're sitting on $5,000. And now the community can express to them ways that they can invest and take that money and build something on their own. And maybe all they've been waiting for was a chance. And now this creative has a few extra $1,000 to get some studio time and start making music. And now they're not out on the streets burning down LA because they have a purpose. So there's nothing wrong with a tokenized community that can bring value and purpose to people, that can bring identity to people, that can bring money to people. These are all things we're constantly seeking. And I think Christ is King could be one of the top communities to do that. And the reason is religious meta. It's like this new term that they're throwing out there, which just means religious-based technology. The divine, the spirit, everybody is seeking that, even if they don't know that they are. We just had a conversation today about the spiritual world. How sometimes we don't feel it. We can't see in the spirit, but we know it's there. We're constantly engaging with it. Sometimes we don't feel God, sometimes we do. Sometimes we don't understand. We don't follow Jesus. We follow Buddha. We follow Muhammad. Whatever it is, we're constantly trying to find that thing, that essence that we are. And I believe that the first meme coin that could capture a religious meta will be the largest community on planet Earth. Because deep down, every single human being is seeking not just community, but they're seeking God. That's all they're seeking. And I happen to be a Christian, so I'm going to promote Jesus. I'm going to say that Christ is King. But honestly, as a tokenized, inclusive community, we're here to welcome everybody in. We're here to give everybody purpose. And hopefully, by people joining Christ is King or other religious meta groups, they find themselves, they find their purpose on earth. They find out why God made them and put them here on this planet. And to me, that feels like a win. That feels like we did something really good. And so I'm thankful that God gave me that download. I'm thankful for people like Ian Utile. I'm thankful for people like my friend Alex. I'm thankful that I get a chance to be a pioneer, to push the boundaries, to go where other people might not be willing to go, to get stones thrown at me. Because at the end of the day, if I could push the needle a little bit, if I could be one of the people to bring purpose and value and meaning into somebody's life, then I've done something worthwhile and meaningful. And so that's the essence and the core of Christ is King. That's why we're doing what we're doing. And I hope you guys join us. Thank you.
Bro. You said everything.
Thank you. All right, Alex, I want you to do something. Before we go, all right, Alex, do you have a word for the church? All right, here.
Oh, no. Okay, I'm just going to hold it. Hold this one, too. Oh, no, bro. No, what is What are these? Magnets. Oh. All right, we got this.
Yeah. Yeah, as Brother Curtis said earlier, I love you, man, by the way. It's all about love. He said global movement. And at the same time, Holy Spirit speaking to me, I just feel this in my heart, my spirit. There's an invitation, especially to our church friends. This is a holy movement. And I feel the bridegroom is coming. And he's searching. He's searching that oil in your lantern. And I highly encourage you to keep it filled up. Whatever you do, keep it filled up, because the new move that Lord is about to do, you need a new wine skin. Old must pass away to hold the new, or it's gonna burst. So I pray you may even need to step out of your comfort zone, whatever the Lord asks you to. It may look foolish before the eyes of men, but the Lord uses the foolish to confound the wise. Come on. And you may not even have to speak anything. You just gotta follow the Holy Spirit and tell to anyone, whoever, what the Lord tells you to do, and count all the costs. Deny yourself.
So do you think that you're saying there's a new wineskin coming to the body?
I strongly feel it.
Do you think that there's a chance that like tokenized communities could lead to a decentralized church, and that's the direction or when that God's pushing things into?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really do feel that, and the Lord wants to bring power back to people. I mean, everybody, and church. You have a chance to be a leader and lead them to the Christ, and it's gonna be amazing, and it's gonna be beautiful. And last thing I want to say: find your people, find your tribe, and everything will just work out. Follow the Lord, and God is good. Christ is King.
Christ is King, baby.
Baby.
Well done. Well done.
Love you, brother.
Malachi, you want to say something?
The future of Web3 and AI is unfolding before us. Communities, education, business, government, media, and art are undergoing a metamorphosis that will redefine our world. Now is the time. Make the leap.
Collaborating and sharing ideas and thoughts with each other throughout the day.
Technology advances like 100 miles a minute. I'm super excited to learn from everyone here today.
We don't want to be the target, and we don't want to be the product. We want to be the owner of our digital information. We want to be the owner of our digital lives, because our lives are no longer just physical, they are digital and physical. Change the narrative on how we've been teaching for all these years and look back on how we used to teach and, challenge our students with, hey, coming with the right knowledge to you. AI has democratized, basically, at this point, knowledge, like we said earlier. It's giving you the ability to know what I know, giving you the ability to even question what I know.
All of us have had to learn cryptography. We've had to learn how to download an OKX wallet. We've had to learn how to buy and sell crypto, learn how to buy and sell NFTs. We've had to learn the process of what a smart contract does.
Wow, we did it. Web3 AI, wasn't that quick? It came and so fast, right? But didn't you feel like you belonged? If you're here with us, you should feel like your voice matters. Like you're amongst people that want to hear what you have to say. They want to hear your questions. They want to hear your thoughts and your insights. We got to hear from way over 100 people today, right? We didn't have a stage with speakers and panelists. Instead, we had a Congress-style conversation for all of us to learn from one another. It was my joy to gather us together, and it is an honor to bring this event to you. And if you're watching this video later, don't miss the next Web3 AI event. We hope to have you join us the next time we gather in this type of capacity.
Welcome back. Here at Philly Block City with my friend Alan, who is the growth lead of all of Southeast Asia for Mexi, maybe the easiest place to get your token listed.
Yeah, that's for sure.
We just rolled the video for Web3 AI, which happened in September at the West, and you were a big part of that. Thank you.
Yeah, I was.
So tell me about Mexi. I keep hearing all these great things. You guys have a great food. You had a big party last night. Tell me a bit about what you guys are up to.
Well, actually, just to say, in the Philippines, we're here to stay.
Good.
Okay, that's one thing that I can assure the community is that we're here to stay. We have so many plans, all right, so many good things that are coming up for the Philippine market. But of course, aside from the Philippines, is that we have good traction right now in terms of being one of the best global exchanges. So as you can see, we're very aggressive, like sponsoring a lot of major events, Token 2049, CoinFest, PBW, and all this type of events. Not only that, but we're very aggressive as well with campaigns, with our airdrops, and a lot of things to do. And then of course with the listing, like we're the easiest exchange to get listed on, as you say. But of course, with being the easiest, it doesn't mean that we are like careless of the compliance. We're totally different. there's still like compliance and all. We always do the research. Like we always check on the team, check on the utility, check on all the criteria of the project. So that's how we're doing right now. Yeah.
So, what countries in Southeast Asia do you already have a lot of traction? What countries are you expanding as the growth lead?
Oh, we're actually getting a lot of traction, of course, here in the Philippines.
Yes.
But of course, we're getting traction in Indonesia, in Thailand, and not only in those countries, but also in Hong Kong and Taiwan. All right, so we're expanding to those countries. So yeah, I think that will be my answer for that.
And what is the type of thing that people do most on Mexi? Is it day trading? Is it buying and holding on the centralized exchange? Like, what are the things that are happening the most?
Well, the most things that are happening the most in Mexi is, of course, number one is people tend to swap on our exchange more than other exchanges because we have a lot of variety of tokens, right? So we have everything in Mexi. So from the meme coins to the shit coins to to all the top tier tokens, and of course especially the altcoins. So we have that in Mexi. So I think the most thing that they're doing in Mexi right now is trading those tokens, which are not available in other exchanges.
Right.
So yeah.
And when you think about the future of Mexi as a brand, how do you envision it scaling and sustaining its growth? Is it through the traditional means of KOLs, marketing, advertising, being events like this? Or as the growth lead, do you have any like fun new ideas that you're bringing to the table that they're like empowering to say, yeah, Alan, go for it. We trust you. You're great at this stuff.
Well, right now we're actually launching a super community. So it's not all about KOLs, right? I mean, the only thing that we are getting KOLs is, of course, to gain more traction and all, but that's not actually it. Okay, with Mexi, we're actually launching the super community where we help the KOLs to get more value, to give more value to their communities. Like, of course, giving them learnings, giving them education about crypto. I mean, a lot of communities, a lot of people doesn't know the whole or like the deeper meaning or like value of crypto. You know that, right? But with Mexi, we're actually like making it easier for them, making it more flexible for them, making it more available for them, to know more about crypto. Not just only in trading, not just only in doing spot trading, airdrop, but also in in trading as a whole, or like to better understand each project that they are actually invested on.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that will be like one of our powerful tool, which is led by Papa P. Yeah, yeah. So
Well, you know I love Papa.
yeah, yeah.
He was just in the video that we just rolled.
Yeah.
So, what's the importance of friendship in this industry? Having people with ethics, integrity that you can trust. Because you make new people that come in, you're trying to bond with them.
Yeah.
You're trying to take them through a process to understand is this a good token to list?
Yeah.
But then you also have your friends that you've been on the journey with for years, right?
Yeah.
So, tell me about the importance of relationship.
Well, to be honest with me, relationship is my most top priority. Like, literally, I came in from an exchange, you know that, right? But I'm really still good friends with them. Not only with my previous exchange, but also with different exchanges and different projects. I mean, I value relationship more than the business itself, because like with business, like everything's like professional, transactional, and all. But with relationship, you build trust. You build a lot of different aspects in terms of getting a lot of opportunities together.
Yes.
Because if you have a lot of friends that you trust and then that you gain trust from, is that you're creating a good opportunity, like a very massive opportunity with them. It's not just like you're being selfish. You're being like like you're taking all the opportunities. It's better to have friends that actually shares all the opportunities.
Yes.
So I think relationship is really the best thing that we can do in this type of industry. So
And
yeah.
what are you most excited about today? And in comparison, what are you looking forward to as we head into the summer and the fall?
Yeah. Well, what I'm actually excited for today is that Mexi is really aggressive. Not only Mexi, but the crypto industry. Right now, it's like the market is doing pretty good, right? So I think the most exciting part here is that where are we going next? Like, of course, I'm expecting that in the next like 2 to 3 months or 4 months, we're in a better, situation wherein we we are actually like, you know, we every one of us is understanding what crypto is, and at the same time everyone is like fulfilling their dreams, fulfilling everything that they are actually expecting from crypto. But of course, like over promising is not that far. But yeah, I think that will be it.
Yes.
Yeah.
If people want to check out Mexi,
Uh-huh.
where do they go? And if they want to list something, what's
Uh-huh.
the process?
Uh-huh.
Like, give people that are watching us live a little insight.
Oh well, if they want to actually, get to know more about Mexi, you can visit our website, which is actually www.mexi.com.
Yes.
And of course, if you want to list a token, you can approach me or anyone from the team of Mexi, not only in the Philippines but also globally. Like the listing process is very simple. Yeah, like you have to have a good team. You have to have a good white paper, utility, tokenomics, and all, and we're good to go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, my friends.
Thank you. Thank you, Ian.
Always good
yeah.
to spend time with
yeah.
you.
Always good. Always good.
I'll be back again with more in just a moment.
tokenize a community is to ensure that you use decentralization to make this community thrive now and into the future.
I've been so happy. I'm so glad to be here. I can't wait for this event. It's going to be amazing.
If you spin yourself out on just tech talk, then you lose what actually matters. And what really matters is our purpose. Let's not get so technical that we get away from humanity. The humanity side of us, right? The part that makes us want to eat and go to sleep and find a mate and go have fun and laugh and cry and run. And that part, the primal part.
It's really honored to be here, and like you said, the energy is really wild. I've never experienced anything like this in my life.
Go find a community that needs a heart and go feel for them. Go find a community that needs a brain and go think for them. Find your people. Find your purpose.
If you follow this process, if you follow the disciplines necessary for you to be able to just do what you're doing day in, day out, by the end of the month, end of the year, hopefully you'll get the same result.
This is not a keynote where I just give you the answers. This is a keynote where I try to get you to spark the ideas in your own mind. AI will be the key for us because AI is going to make our NFT project more successful and more vibrant, and they'll run Discord, they'll run Telegram, and they'll do this stuff. We don't even need people anymore. AI is going to do our meme thing, right? They're going to help us scale and sustain forever. No struggles, no hardship, right? Because nobody's involved. It's just AI that does it all. Welcome back.
Oh, we're back. Oh, look at this.
I know.
Space vibe going.
Look at us. Look at us. This is us on the World Wide Web.
We're floating on the web. The vibes.
So we're back at PBW.
Yes, we are, dude.
So how's the event been for you today and yesterday?
I just got here today. I flew in yesterday, so a little bit tired. I came to do what I came to do, but a little tired.
Yeah.
So but it's nice to be here again. It's 3 years in a row for me now.
Right.
But past 2 years as an MC. Now, ironically, 3 friends of mine are now MCing this PBW, and I'm kind of taking the role of more being able to speak, just to practice the keynoting stuff. And so
you're a great speaker.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, so I try to continue to work that muscle.
Right. Yeah. So where did you come from?
Oh, great question. So I started in Miami, went to Boston to visit my parents for a couple of days, and went to LA to MC a sports performance and sports medicine summit.
Because that's a big part of your world.
Yes, that's what I mean. What many people don't know about me in this world is the fact that my actual day job for almost 20 years was in professional sports as a high performance director. So,
right.
Yeah.
So it either feels like 2 a.m. or 5 a.m. for you. Let's call it 3:30 a.m.
Yeah. Let's just call it what it is.
When do you head back to the States?
So from here, I stay here for a month.
Oh, that's a long time. Okay.
And then head to Siargao right after this.
Okay.
And then fly to Barcelona for a month, Amsterdam for a month, and then back in Miami in September.
Anything stand out to you that was talked about on stage, or that you got to share? Was there's a moment or
a private interaction over a meal, anything that like is a real standout moment for you today?
I think I like the fact that there's increased awareness or even allowed discussion about wellness. And it's something that I've always been an advocate for, particularly in the Web3 space, as I personally went through some mental challenges during the ups and downs of the NFT crypto world as I was launching my own NFT for good back in 2021. And, you know, not everyone considering the importance of the wellness side of things. And the fact that, you know, Cheska, Janelle, and Donald were open to really having a conversation about this and make this a part of the curriculum has been really amazing.
So if our body is the part of us that's connected to the ground, to the earth, to our surrounding, if our mind is the part of us that's connected to ourself, and our soul's the connection with one another, if you believe in a spirit, it's connected to the creator.
Yeah.
Tell me about that mind part that's connected to ourself. What have you learned working with high performance driven, manic, unstoppable athletes? What have you learned about the stories we tell ourselves, the way that our mental health breaks down because of unmet needs, past trauma, cycles we can't seem to get out of that are self-destructive? How important is it that people build themselves up, encourage themselves rather than tear themselves down? Tell me a bit about your journey with this part of the human psyche.
I think first and foremost, one of the things I've learned in the 20 years I've been working in elite sport is that me as a coach, as a medical provider, as a teacher, as a shifu, a mentor, a guide, is that I'm only really there to really plant the seed.
Yeah.
The athletes, the CEOs that I work with, other high performers, they have to make that seed grow. And so for me to be able to just provide that avenue, to be able for them to make that realization is one of the biggest key lessons I've learned. Because initially, as somebody who wants to be really in that space, you feel like you have to constantly be there. You have to constantly teach. You constantly have to like corral and mentor and let them know. But when in fact, you just have to plant the seed and let go.
Right.
And just like, you know, our own mental health and our own mental hygiene, it's important to tap into the things that really nourish us.
Yeah.
And really provide that for ourselves, particularly if that's what we need is just time.
Yeah.
Some time for stillness, some time for quiet, for time to be with the people that we love.
Yeah.
And when you have that with you, you can always succeed no matter what.
Right.
And the highs and lows will always be highs and lows, but you'll always be in the middle because there's people there and your own practice to ground you.
Right.
So I think that's one thing that I really learned more than anything else is that it's really important to have a practice. It's really important to have accountability, whether for yourself or somebody holding you accountable. And then more than anything else, it's really important to take a step back.
Right.
Especially when the madness doesn't serve you.
Right. Right. Any final thoughts for our friends out here on the internet as we're on all these channels from PBW?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, dream to inspire others. If you are not living an impactful life, then what is life to be there lived for? Number one. Two, take care of yourself. Mind, body, spirit. It's okay to take the time to really chill. Because by doing that, it allows you to be successful for a longer period of time. And three, show some love to people that are around you. Take care of them so that they can take care of you, particularly during the times that you are most challenged.
Love it.
As always, brother.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Glad.
Attention Live. Here we go. PBW 2025.
That's right. Be back again soon. Peace. Welcome to Philippine Blockchain Week 2025. And I'm excited because the Block Awards are coming up.
Yes.
So tell
Right after this, we go
right
to
after this. And this is the 4th year we've done the Block Awards.
Yes, sir.
So tell me about what can people expect for the Block Awards as soon as we finish up our conversation.
I think what's different about this year is we really got the community involved.
Okay.
Right? Because Blockchain Council Philippines, we want to make sure the community is involved in the whole, from nomination, from the winners coming out, right? So this is what the people are saying who are well deserved of any awards that are coming out. So it's very exciting. Different categories, so it's gonna be great.
One of the things that's been unique about the awards is the way that you've honored the recipients.
Yes.
The way that you've built the council, the beauty of the award. I mean, these awards are things that people will hand off to their great-great-grandkids.
Yeah, exactly. Right?
So tell me a bit about what makes this 4th version, this 4th year, something that the community took over. How did you guys implement that?
So right off the bat, we sent off major nomination flyers so people know who are in the communities. Not only that, we let them decide in their own communities. You know, as you know, the Philippines is 7,000 islands. Lose them in, right? So different areas. So we asked them in their own blockchain, crypto, Web3 communities, who are the leaders in your community? What are they doing? What have they achieved? Right. So we did a toll. And then we do the final vetting, due diligence on the blockchain council side. Make sure they're really who they say they are, right? And then from the final voting, we left to them. Like these are the actual the actual voters are within the community.
Yeah,
that's the main I guess takeaway from this year's awards.
Did you go to all 4 events last year?
Yes.
So you were with the Davao, Bacolod, Bataan.
Like you were in all 4.
I went to all.
Yeah. I was there with you. Yes. Correct.
So then you and I would be 2 of the only people that have been in all 7.
Yes.
It's like Donald, Jessica, Janelle, you, myself.
Right. Yes.
I don't know if there's anybody else.
You know what?
There might be a few, but there's not a lot.
So yeah.
So what's SMX like for you, being here at this convention center instead of the smaller venues regionally or instead of at the big Marriott Manila?
Okay, a couple of things. One, this venue I think is more for the mass adoption people that want to know blockchain. I'll address the different areas. You know, the nice hotels. You know, of course, where it was before, the George World and Marriott. Those are great. But I feel for the Philippine community, maybe, I don't know if it's the right word to use, excuse me, a little bit intimidating for the people that want to know about blockchain, right? Because it's pretty posh, you know, it's a different world. Right? But when you come here, they feel more comfortable. Right? You know, on one hall one, there are people dancing, b-boying, you know, like myself, I support that. But you know, it's more fun, I think it's more open, as you can see. 1, 2, 3, 4. But now it's one Filipino people. They need to be. They seem to be more comfortable here.
I mean, it's a great venue, right?
Yeah, so
I mean, for us, I have a very unique perspective.
People walk in, they see Mr. Utile. You know what I mean?
Right.
So when we see the people, they seem as it's a different setting.
Yeah.
As you know, when you're in like a 5-star hotel setting, compared to some hall, it's different.
Very, very different. Right? Especially different for a Filipino.
Correct.
Right. Like, if the whole point is to bring foreigners in,
yes,
to speak, then maybe a hotel setting could make sense.
Yes.
But if the point is to like bring the community in to learn and interact, then this certainly has a better vibe.
Yeah, if you see Hall 1, for example, you never expect that this. You know, they've got food stalls, they've got something that it's, again, mass appeal. I guess that's the word I'm looking for.
Yes.
And then when they did it in different islands, we do that again.
Yes.
Because then you're reaching
get going to the Block Awards. Any final words for all of our friends on the internet?
Our netizens, let's call it. First of all, awesome. This guy is the best. I got to give this guy, I mean, for really hitting the mass people, showing not only respect for all of us online and you know, when you give this type of respect, please give it back. Show much love to our friends here, and also let's do it, guys. Blockchain is what makes everybody on the same level playing field.
Yes.
If you know blockchain, it's a truly democratized society, and everybody's on a level playing field. Show your value.
Yes. Thank you for joining me.
Hey, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you. All right, man.
I'll be back again soon.
Thank you. Emmanuel Sampson, Blockchain Council, Vice President and co-founder of Bitaka. Thanks,
I'm
guys.
glad you snuck it in.
Thanks, brother. So,
Grab this.
organize a community is to ensure that you use decentralization to make this community thrive now and into the future.
I've been so happy. I'm so glad to be here. I can't wait for this event. It's going to be amazing.
If you spin yourself out on just tech talk, then you lose what actually matters. And what really matters is our purpose. Let's not get so technical that we get away from humanity. The humanity side of us, right? The part that makes us want to eat and go to sleep and find a mate and go have fun and laugh and cry and run. And that part, the primal part.
I'm really honored to be here, and like you said, the energy is really wild. I've never experienced anything like this in my life.
Go find a community that needs a heart and go feel for them. Go find a community that needs a brain and go think for them. Find your people. Find your purpose.
If you follow this process, if you follow the disciplines necessary for you to be able to just do what you're doing day in, day out, by the end of the month, end of the year, hopefully you'll get the same result.
This is not a keynote where I just give you the answers. This is a keynote where I try to get you to spark the ideas in your own mind. AI will be the key for us because AI is going to make our NFT project more successful and more vibrant, and they'll run Discord, they'll run Telegram, and they'll do this stuff. We don't even need people anymore. AI is going to do our meme thing, right? They're going to help us scale and sustain forever. No struggles, no hardship, right? Because nobody's involved. It's just AI that does it all.